So obviously not legal advice, and I'm gonna kind of tell you what shaped my legal experience when I was a kid. So I practiced for 39 years approximately, and when I first started, I worked for a very small real estate litigation firm, and one benefit of working for a small firm is you get thrown into the fire and you get to do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do out of necessity. So the firm had a Middle Eastern client who was seeking some extraordinary relief in court. I had never been in court. I thought the client was out of his mind. I had no control over him, and I had no idea what I was doing. So it was an interesting setup. A hearing was set up, and I appeared in Santa Monica Court. It was, I recall this is 39 years ago approximately. I entered the courtroom. There were about 150 attorneys in the courtroom, probably about 75 cases. It was packed. And I'd never appeared in court, so this is the first time I had ever been in the courtroom. And as I entered the court, I was very nervous because I had never appeared in court. I had no control over my client, and I thought he was out of his mind. So I checked in, and the way you would do it is you'd go to the clerk, you'd check in, and you would they would see you were there, so that when your case was called, they would contact you. And there was a list of cases, so you could see where in the queue you were. And like I said, there was probably about 75 cases, and I think I was about number 60. So my strategy was I would wait, and I hadn't been in court, of course, but I'd wait and see what happened, and I would kind of learn how the courtroom acted and the temperament of the judge, and I would consider how I might be able to control my client. So I wait, and then about 8:30, that's when the calendar is called. I wait, and then I was surprised when the clerk called out the first case, and the case happened to be my case. Now, I didn't know that attorneys could ask for priority, but apparently the other attorney asked priority, so that means we were the first case up. So now my strategy of having watched everybody had fallen by the wayside, and I didn't really know what to do. So I walked up with my client to the bench in the front of the court, in front of like 150 other attorneys. I put my client to the left of me because he was going to testify at this particular hearing, and I stood up to announce my presence to the court. And I had never been in court, so I didn't know what to do, so I put my hands in my pockets. And about 5 seconds or less after I put my hands in my pockets, in front of this full courtroom of lawyers, more experienced than I, the judge bellows out in a loud voice, "Get your hands out of your pants, counselor." Everybody in the courtroom laughed except me, but it definitely shaped my future conduct in courtrooms and my etiquette. And if it were today and the judge told me that, having the experience that I do now, my reply would be, "I'm just counting, Your Honor.